Good morning, my name is Paul. The car I have for you today has just come in. It is a 2023 73, so it's a late registered car. Land Rover Defender 90 D300 X-Dynamic HSE in Santorini Black. I'd like to show you around. So as you can see, this is the new shape Defender. The D300 means it has a 6-cylinder diesel engine producing there or thereabouts 300 brake horsepower. It's one of the nicest engines I think ever fitted to a Land Rover. The 250, 300 and 350 are all variations on a common engine, but the 300 is a perfect engine, perfect size and output for the Defender 90, and the X-Dynamic HSE is all about specification, and I'll show that to you as we go. So it's in Santorini Black, which is a nice metallic black. I'm just going to home in and show you. We don't have a sunny day outside, so I can't show you the sun bouncing off it, but what I can do is I can show you the effect our interior lights have on this colour. And if you look there, it's not just a question of silver flecks. There's all sorts of colours in there. I can see greens and what have you, and it's just a lovely, lovely colour. Suits the car really, really well. And of course, metallic tends to stay looking better for longer than a standard flat colour. So sat on Star 5098 wheels, 22-inch, grey calipers tucked in behind those. You can see we've got the full-size mud guards, side steps. Again, the mud guard or the mud flap at the back, which helps to keep this really nice paint looking good. Darkened rear windows. A rather cool looking boot spoiler. Just gives it a little bit more of a stance. Makes the side profile just a little bit more sporty, a bit more meaningful. Looks good. And then we can see the full size spare, which is a 22 as well. If I just open up the back, I can show you that tucked in underneath there is the parcel cover. We have the lock-in part here, somewhere to hang your shopping if you don't want it to move around in the back. And this is an interesting addition. This is a one-owner car. This is bought by the owner who bought this car, and what it means is that when you fold the seats flat, you have then a completely flat base, and that is really hard and rugged. It's the same sort of material as you've got on the back of the seats, so you can lift that out to give you a little bit more height, or you can leave that in and have a flat load space, which I think is a really nicely thought out option with that. Inside here we have a removable hitch tow bar. So we do have a tow bar. It's fitted in here. It's kept in its own nice little bag. All looking rather good. I love the rear lights design on these Defenders. If I just kind of go down through the sides of the car, you can see the quality and fit and condition of the panels, quality of the paintwork, which you can see there gives you a very nice clear reflection. And of course, any bad paintwork or dents and scratches will certainly be shown up immediately when you've got a reflection as clear as that. So that gives you an indication as to the condition of the car. I'll do the same around the other side as well. Another thing to note is that we've got the wide body arches, so it makes the car a little bit more aggressive from the outside. And what it also does, to be fair, is if you're going through dirt, it helps to stop mud and what have you coming from the wheel and sticking to the side of the car. It gives you a wider wheel arch there. But just looking again through the reflection in the panels, you can see it's nice and clear, and that's always a lovely place to start. So moving towards the interior. So X-Dynamic HSE, it's a good spec car. So I'll go through some of the items that we have. So we have a Meridian sound system, so it's a very nice quality sound. You don't have to have the stereo speakers turned up so high in order to get a nice clear sound. Electric memory seats, folding mirrors, electric windows and what have you. The seats are ebony robust deck, so you have these perforations on the center, nice hard wearing, because one of the bits that we find with most makes of car is that when people get in and out, you have a wear patch here and a wear patch here, and of course this is nice and robust. It helps to keep that seat looking nicer for longer. The center of the seat has a perforated finish, and there's a reason for that. It's not just for decoration. I'll come to that in a second. And then you can see in the rear we've got 3 headrests, 3 proper seat belts, and you can see the white tags there. That tells you this car has Isofix in both outside seats and plenty of legroom. So the center part here, what we have at the moment is we have cup holders, so 2 cup holders there, and various charging points, so 2 USB-Cs and then 2 standard in-car chargers, one either side, and that gives you an armrest in much the same way as if you would have a cubby. The option this car has, if I just move that up, is if you move that up, there we have a 3rd central seat with a proper 3-pointed seat belt. So it's an occasional seat, and you can tuck it out of the way, but that effectively makes this a 6-seater car. So in those times where you really need to squeeze that extra passenger in, this is going to make that very easy for you. And if I'm just going to pan up here, you can see the length of the glass roof. So this has the panoramic glass roof. So mileage as of today, 27,922 miles, all done by the same owner. So it's a 1-owner car. And on the steering wheel here, this is the multifunction steering wheel. These buttons drive that screen. Here we have cruise control, lane assist, which helps to give you a reminder if you're wandering through lanes on a motorway. The cruise control also has radar assistance, and I can tell that by these 2 little signs here. So what that means is when you set cruise control, if you set it at 70 miles an hour, for example, and a car pulls out in front of you going more slowly than you are, rather than you having to hit the brakes, this car will understand that someone's moved out in front and going slower, and it'll keep pace. It'll slow down and keep pace with the car in front. When the car moves out of the way, this car will then speed up to what you had it set before, and you can close the gap or extend the gap between you and the car in front, depending on what your comforts, sort of what your thoughts are in terms of road conditions. This also has heated steering wheel, which I think is one of the best things ever, especially coming into the winter. I love the heated steering wheel on these cars. It warms up really quickly, goes all the way around the rim, and there's nothing quite like nice warm hands when it's freezing cold outside. So here we have the screen. You've got the 2 dials, which is a traditional 2 dials, and then you've got a music display in the center. If I press this center button here, and then I can use the up and down arrows, I can change, amongst other things, the display layout. So I'll click the display layout. So at the moment we're showing 2 dials. I can go down to 1 dial. If I press it again, I can go and change to full map. It's very customizable. Media or driver assistance. So there's any number of different options that you can have, and you can customize the display depending on what you'd like to see. And I like that. I think that's a really nice part of this car. It looks good. It works very well. Very easy to read. It does have keyless start and entry, so you can see here we've got the stop-start button, so foot on the brake to start it. Moving along to here, we have the climate control. So at the moment we have temperature adjustment, so for the driver's side, temperature adjustment for the passenger side. Now if I want to adjust the seats, it's telling me here that I can push. So if I push, and I can then turn that to the left and you'll see the blue lights come up. What that has done now is that has engaged fans within the seat, and that will blow cool air and cool your backside and your lower back. Or you can have heated seats here, 3 different settings hot, 3 different settings cold. That is a lovely thing, really nice thing to use. You can see all the buttons are nice and big. They're designed to be used with gloves should you need it, and you can see all your off-road low ratio and what have you there. The gear stick, we're in park, but park is a question of just pushing that. It's a trigger, so you pull that back, and I'm going to slide it into reverse, and there we can see the camera system. So we've got a very clear camera. You can see all these cars behind us nice and clearly, and then here you can see 360-degree surround camera. So there are cameras situated around the car pointing down. So if it's dark and if it's raining and you can't see much out of the door mirrors, even though they are very large and they do make the car feel a lot smaller, this makes parking in the wet and in the dark and everything a lot easier than it would be without it. And if I just show you these yellow lines here, that is a projected pathway. So I'm going to turn the steering wheel to the left, and you can see that line changing now. So that one now moves backwards in that direction, and this one gives you an arc. And if I move it around to the right, that does the same for that side. So that gives you a projected path based on the steering angle at the time, and that makes things a lot easier as well. If you want different views, you can go into 3D. I can adjust the views accordingly, and if I want to go off-road, you can see now it's telling me what's going on with the axle. And if I want towing, that tells you where the tow ball will be, and that makes the whole maneuvering situation a lot easier than if you didn't have it. So there we go. I'll put it back into park. We have more charging, so we have USB-C, USB, and we have an additional charging port here. So if you're on a long journey, if you have equipment that needs charging, this does make life a lot easier for you. And because it's a Land Rover Defender, which is very obvious, we have a grab handle, and it's not just there for show. This car has a high level of capability off-road. And so at times you're going to need to hold on to that if you decide that you're going to exercise this car off the road. And then I'm just going to show you there. I've opened the roof. You can see that's nice and easy. And if I don't want the sun coming through there, I can also press that button there, and that blind comes across. And if the car's sat in the sun all day long, that will help to keep the sun out, stop the car from getting too hot too quickly. Right, turn the car off. It's a lovely screen to use. It's all touch screen, nice and easy. Incoming call. So there we go. So yes, so nice and easy to use. If I go into the apps, I can see that we have Android Auto and CarPlay. That's all built in. Your phone system, you just heard it. You just heard it ring. If I just scroll down, weight sensing, weather, vehicle health, towing and trailers. There's all sorts of nice apps and bits and pieces to use with this car. So someone's got that music on there. So there we go. So as I say, it's just arrived. It is a one-owner car, and with the wide body, the spoiler, the 22-inch wheels, mud flaps, what have you, this is a very nicely specified car. So I hope you like the car. I hope you like the video and find the video useful. If you'd like to know more about the car, please visit our website, www.bramshawbv.com. Drop us an email or a text or WhatsApp, or simply pick up the phone and speak to us. We'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks for watching.